Bonjour and welcome back to French Action. Most adjectives are placed after the noun they describe in French. However, some are placed before. Do you know them? That's what this video is all about. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! Unlike English, adjectives which are describing words are placed after the word they describe. And here I'm going to show you some examples of adjectives. And here we have adjectives of color, adjectives of shape and taste, adjectives of nationality, adjectives of conditions. But of course, this is just some examples. But at least you can see how it works. So for example, if we start with adjective of color and we want to say a black car, you'll have to remember to say a car black, all right? So remember, colors are placed after. Another example, adjective of shapes. So if we are talking about a round table, you have to remember that round will come after. The same for the taste. If we're talking about ripe fruits, we're going to say des fruits mûrs. Mûr, which means ripe, comes after. What about adjectives of nationality? You have to remember that they're always placed after. Un monument français, so that will be a French monument. Adjective of condition, for example, if I say a dangerous road, une route dangereuse, you're going to see that dangerous will have to be placed after. So this is just to show you how adjectives are used, and also you have to add long adjectives. They will always be placed after. However, some adjectives are placed before the noun they refer to. And they are my first step. I've designed for you first step, which is premier pas. And premier pas is basically all the adjectives which are used before the noun. And the main word you need to remember is pas, which is a step. So remember, first step, premier pas. So pas stands for physical, the P for physical, the A for admirable, and the S for size. So whenever you want to say first, second, third, you know that they will have to be placed before the noun and not after. P stands for physical, so we're going to look at some physical attributes like handsome, beautiful, pretty, young, old, and that is going to give us these words in French: beau, belle, belle, joli, jolie for the feminine, jeune, vieux, vieille, vieille. Okay, so if we look at the example of an old female friend, you would say une vieille amie. So remember, P for physical. A for admirable, so that gives us words like good, high, new, best, real. And in French, we have bon and bonne for the feminine, haut and haute, nouveau, nouvelle, meilleur, vrai and véritable. The next adjectives are in fact the opposite of admirable. So it's not really admirable. That's why I put non-admirable, but we still keep the word admirable. So you have bad, naughty, worse, false, fake. And in French, these give you mauvais or mauvaise, vilain or vilaine, pire, faux, and fausse. And as an example, if you want to say a bad grade, you would say une mauvaise note. So don't forget, the A stands for admirable. The S of pas stands for size. We have adjectives like big, small, and long, which gives you in French grand or grande, petit, petite, gros, grosse, long, longue. And as an example, you can say une longue journée, a long day. Oh, it was a long day. C'était une longue journée. So remember, S stands for size. So what happens if you have two adjectives next to each other? The First World War. So we're going to have first and world, which is going to be mondial. And we're going to basically follow the rules. First comes first and world afterwards. So that's going to give us la Première Guerre mondiale. La Première Guerre mondiale. Now, if you have something like the best French cake, we're going to continue the same way. You remember that best comes before the noun and nationalities after. So we're going to keep using the same rules. Le meilleur gâteau français. I wanted to share a sentence which I found in a book called Dans les pas d'Augustine, written by Anna Deep and Yuen Van Kie. Je découvris une belle femme noire, svelte, élégante, bien habillée, coiffée d'un chignon en forme de banane. So you can see here, belle is a short adjective, so it's placed before the word femme, but all the rest after. Let's practice. Pratiquons. Traduisez en français les phrases suivantes. So I'm asking you to translate into French the 5 following sentences. So the first one, my neighbor has an old black dog. The second one is, who is your best friend? Number 3 is, it's my second trip to France this year. Number 4 is, I'm happy today, I got a good grade. And the last one, what a bad weather. Voici les réponses. So the first sentence was, my neighbor has an old black dog, and that gives you, mon voisin a un vieux chien noir. For the second sentence, who is your best friend? So we're going to say, qui est ton meilleur ami? Or qui est ta meilleure amie? Depending on whether you're using male or female. Number 3, it's my second trip to France this year. And we're going to say, c'est mon deuxième voyage en France cette année. Sentence number 4, I'm happy today, I got a good grade. So that is going to be, je suis content ou je suis contente aujourd'hui. J'ai eu une bonne note. So we're going to have bonne before the word grade. Okay? And to finish, what a bad weather. So we're going to say, quel mauvais temps. So did you get all this right? Bravo if you got everything right. Don't worry if you made some mistakes. See you next time. Au revoir.